Well, all right, excuse me, a cough. As soon as I get started here, better get my water. Hey, Joey, how are you? Yep, you made it first today. You made it first. Well, I mean, I beat you, Joey, but, but yeah, you made it first. Yep. Yeah, I've got out here and trying to get started and seeing what I can stir up and see what we can talk about. I hope everybody's got a good warm morning this morning. It was kind of cold. Kind of what's wrong here? Yeah, it was kind of chilly this morning. Kind of chilly out here. I don't know what the temperature. What was the temperature up in New York State this morning? It was in the 40s this morning, I think. Yeah, I'm over here at Cherryville, Napa this morning. Hi, Greg. How are you? Yeah, I'm trying to get started this morning. I'm over here at the Napa Store and hopefully got a good signal. Give me a thumbs up if you can. It was in the 30s up there, was it? Yeah, it's nippy down here. It's nippy down here. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a great morning, and we'll see what we can get started. Well, hey, Patrick. Oh, now I'm jealous. I see you got Phil some Gador tools and everything. I'm jealous. I might have to trade you some Carlisle for some Gador. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Yeah, it looks good and sounds good, does it? Okay, good. I'm trying to keep everything looking good and sounding good. I always have the best signal out here at my Napa store. My shop has the Wi-Fi too. I mean, has the the same system. Although I think I got more bandwidth out here at the store, and I think that's one reason because I'm using pretty much the same setup, same cameras, same kind of microphones, and that sort of stuff. But I always seem to not get quite as good a signal out at my shop. So I like coming out here and doing it at the Napa store, and it's good and comfortable too, and that sort of stuff. Well, yeah. Well, you give me your address and everything, Patrick, and I'd send you some Carlisle stuff. I've got some I got some good kits and everything I could send you. Hey, comfortable man. Yeah, it's kind of nippy this morning. How's the weather over in Austria, Patrick? Right over here, the fall's coming in pretty good right now. It's the fall weather. Fall weather's taking its hits on us right now. I mean, we're down in the 40s, but I mean that's not bad. I mean, most people say, well, 40 degrees, that's not bad, and it's not. It's really comfortable. I'm still in short sleeve shirt and that sort of stuff, but I'm not real. I don't want to get it too cold too quick. I'm not a fan of winter weather. I that's for sure. I like fall weather and that sort of stuff. Fall weather's that's the time of the year that my wife and I we started dating and actually got married in the fall of the year. I'll be married. My anniversary comes up at the end of the month on the 29th of October. I'll be married 50 years. Hey, Ron, how are you? Oh, it's cool in Northeast. It's about 52 now. Okay. Yeah, that's about what it is here. I think it was in the 40s when I got up. Uh, I, like I said, I still came out with my short sleeve shirt, but a little bit nippy. I had to turn the heat on here in the building just a little bit. They had the AC on yesterday, and it was kind of still kind of nippy in here. So I turned the heat on just for a few seconds, and that knocked it out. Hey, Philip, how are you? Yeah, everybody seems to be jumping in here this morning, and trying to get things started and trying to see what everybody's talking about and what's going on in the world. For me personally, I just finished up week 6 of my recovery, and the doctors say that I'm doing really good. Uh, I'm a little bit ahead in some areas. Uh, I'm losing weight, as I don't know if y'all can tell. My wife says she can tell it through my face and everything, but I've lost 20 pounds. I wouldn't do this for recommended. This is not a weight loss or a way to have weight loss is what I went through. I can tell you that. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, but I am losing weight, and which was necessary. I told her I've got one less chin now, and so you may or may not be able to. Where's the pole barn building? You mean my shop? I got a shop that was the one I was in last week. Now that's a pole barn building, and then I built it into a shop. Well, I'm looking, I hope fairly good. I mean, I'm still sore. Hey, Mr. Clark. I'm still plenty sore, and I'm I can't breathe quite as good. Well, there he is. There's Phil. Glad to see Phil had a big. What'd you have? Two. I got after. I had to go to do some other things about 11 o'clock. I think Phil was still on after 11 o'clock. I don't know how long his stream went. It was a good long stream. Yeah, I got a lot of the same guys in the house this morning. They were on your stream last night, Phil. Yeah, a lot of the same guys. Phil gave me a good plug last night, so I had to give Phil a good, everybody check out Heavy Wrench's site too. He does every Friday night. I think, is it starting at 8 or 9? I can't remember when you start. But Phil starts his show every Friday night. No, not Friday night. Saturday night. What am I talking about? Saturday night. CP's got one on Friday night. And then, then Phil does his on Saturday night at 9. Okay, I was thinking it was around 9, from 9 until whenever he gets off. But that's sort of now. There's one of the complications that I have right there. I'll get choked up. I get choked up a little bit, and I have to take a little drink of water or catch my breath. That's my lung capacity is still not 100%, and I don't know if you can tell it the inflection in my voice. It's a little bit still not like it used to be, and I'll get a little gravelly sounding and a few things like that. But that's neither one way or the other. I'm doing good, and I don't have any complications, knock on wood, yet. And I'm trying to do everything that the doctors try to tell me to do, and do it in the manner that they tell me to do it. And I'm still really sore right from here all the way down to where they cracked me apart. And they said it takes about 12 weeks till this sternum will heal up. I mean, basically, they sawed my sternum in half and pulled my rib cage apart to get to my heart. And when they did that, that's tough. I do fine without sodas. I'm drinking water. I drink a lot of water now, and I drink. I mean, they took me off caffeine and everything in the hospital, so I was sort of weaned of that when I was in the hospital and came home, and I never had a caffeine craving or anything like that. So, getting off caffeine and doing that, just getting back to a fairly normal life. My wife is a good cook, and she's been cooking my meals and cooking more than we used to. But it's a little bit different lifestyle change. I mean, I have to uh, I have to uh, watch my portions. I'm not eating as much, and that's the one thing. Yeah, yeah, they that's what they do. Comfortable, man. They cut your sternum in half, and then this basically break your rib cage apart, and then put it back together. And I don't know how they attach it. I mean, somebody that's in the medical profession could probably tell you. I don't know. I wasn't awake to watch, and I probably would have passed out if I'd seen what they were doing. So, uh, so all I know is what they told me on that. But I have to be careful not to put weight against that. I can't lift more than 5 to 10 pounds, and they don't want me, and I can't lift my arms up high uh, because they said that could break the sternum back apart. So I've got to start letting that heal good. And they said it takes up to about 12 weeks to do that. And I've gone through. I'm halfway through that. I'm at just 6 weeks this past Wednesday is when I had my operation. So I'm halfway through hopefully the good part of the healing of the sternum. So we'll see. Yeah, I didn't get everybody throwing their porch lights on last night, weren't they? Uh, yeah, I had mine on, but nobody said they could see mine down in North Carolina. But you know, and I definitely couldn't see Patrick's, could I? Yeah, Patrick's would be a good little piece away. But we're hopefully we're going to kind of turn some things around and and uh, try to enjoy life each and every day and all that sort of stuff. And we're trying to do our best and all that. Now is Patrick still in here? I hadn't seen Patrick. I was just wondering if we ought to try to get Patrick on one of the live streams. If he had a good camera and a microphone set up, we could put him on a live stream. I'd be glad to invite him in. I could put Patrick and Phil back to back in here, couldn't I? Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to get some. Now, Patrick, now, do you have a good camera or any kind of good setup? I'd love to have you on. Nobody knows you're the mystery man. We all chat with you. We don't know what you look like. We know what Phil and I look like. Most of us do because Phil's got his channel and I got mine. But we never get Patrick. We don't know what Patrick looks like. If you'd like to, if you've got a pretty good setup, I'll be glad to give you an invite and put you on the stream with me. I'm on StreamYard, so I can do an invite if you want me to add you into the stream, and we can see if we can't get you on the live stream. I know a lot of people would probably be interested in seeing you, seeing what you look like all the way from Austria. All right. Well, you get yourself if you don't have a good, it doesn't take a lot. Now I use a Logitech webcam camera, which has got 1080p. That's what I use on my setup right here. And then I got a couple of lights so you can see me good. And then I got a microphone I use this little blue ball. And that seems to be a good microphone for me. Of course, now you can get by with just the webcam microphone, which I've used that in the past too. It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't take a lot. I mean, a lot of good laptops have pretty good webcams. It just depends. Oh, you look like Patrick. Yeah. Yeah. I would imagine Patrick does look like Patrick. And then Phil looks like Phil, and I look like Mike. But yeah, uh, but we'd love to have you on here. And I know your typing's good in English. I guess your English speaking English is good. If not, we can make you type the whole time. But yeah, your typing English and your translation of everything there seems to be pretty good. But now, and you'll have to. Yeah, you're mystery man, Patrick. Yeah, that's why we're all interested there. We're going to say, what does that boy look like? Yeah. Well, and that's a great thing that you translate good. Like I said, I don't know how well you speak. I would imagine as good as you translate everything is probably good. Yeah, he doesn't want the ladies to come after him. That's what it is. Me and Phil, we're already spoken for, so we know that. And I, after being married for 50 years almost, I better not be looking for women. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see what Patrick's tool collection looks like. Now, Patrick, do you have a channel yet? I mean, that's another thing. Just get your own channel, and we'll all you got a lot of friends over here, and we'll all link to it and get you started and get you up there where you can get some hits and everything on it, and explain what you've got there. That's always a good thing to do, is to interact with the rest of us and grow your channel and that sort of stuff, because we all have usually a story to tell. And mine being the Napa Store and the FedEx and everything else that I have. Yesterday, I went on a road call. We'll tell you all this. I went on a road call yesterday. We had one of our trucks pulling Black Mountain, and Black Mountain in this area is a very large mountain, a very tall mountain in near Asheville, North Carolina, and it's rough on trucks. And of course, I had a truck going up Black Mountain, and I guess the head pressure or just the heat, usually it's the head pressure, I think, off these trucks got up, and it actually pulled the top radiator hose off. I mean, it was clamped down and everything, but evidently it was too much pressure or something, or the clamp was just a smidge too loose, but it pulled off that hose and blew out all the antifreeze. So Jim, my mechanic, and I went with him since it's on a Saturday. I didn't want him to have to use his truck. So Jim, it didn't take us long. It took longer to put the antifreeze in than it did fix the repair. We put a new clamp on it. The hose was fine, didn't split the hose. A lot of times it'll split the hose or something like that, but it didn't do that. And so we went up there and did that and got that driver going. Lost a little bit of time, but he made it back. And it's just one of those things in the trucking business. A $4 or $5 clamp will take a $100,000 truck down, and that's what happens sometimes. But you just live with it, and it's one of these things when we're doing preventative maintenance. And I was talking with Jim, and Jim says, he went back and checked the service record on that truck. He said, well, we just had it in about 4 or 5 weeks ago. He said, I usually check all the clamps, all the hoses. He goes through a checklist on everything. He said that one kind of got me there while that one blew off, but it did. And you never know when, like I said, when a part failure is going to come about, because like I said, and we've had two instances like that. We had one on a turbo that the turbo clamp broke. Actually, just those turbo clamps, they got a big spring on them, and if you don't replace them quick enough, they'll actually break. If they get a little bit of rust or whatever in there, a little moisture and get some rust, it'll the tension that they have to go through, it'll pop them. And I had to call out a road service to do that this past week. So that's been my life. Hoses and clamps have been an issue for me this week. It always seems to come in pairs of something, but that was minor. Both cases, I think that clamp was $21 for that turbo hose, but it cost me about $400 to get it repaired for road service. So very profitable with road services, and very costly for a guy that's a contractor. Hey, Jim, how are you this morning? Yeah, we're getting people jumping in here, trying to get the stream going pretty good and trying to keep everything rocking and rolling. Trying to keep my voice lubricated here, keep my vocal cords lubricated, because I'm getting like I said, I can't, I don't have the endurance that I used to have, been able to talk and things like that. But I'm getting around better and trying to get back to a normal life. I mean, that's my goal, is just to get back to normal. And it's sort of I had a deer issue too. Did I say something about that? I guess. Oh, that's right. I said something about that on that happened Friday night. Yeah, I had a deer that's on Phil's wall hit one of my trucks and tore the front bumper off of the truck, and that was one out of Savannah. Of course, I got it moved up to Charlotte last night, so I will have to put a new bumper, and we'll have to put the new Wabco system on it too. So I've had a deer strike and then a couple other little small things that have taken my time. Your voice is making you troubles too. Okay. Phil and his scrub buck. Yeah. Phil, if you're still in here, where did you shoot that one at? Don't tell me an ass, but I mean, I was just wondering what location you were at. That's what I asked a friend of mine about something like that one time. I said, well, where did you shoot that deer? He said, in the ass. I said, well, okay. I'm glad you did. Yeah, it's I'm not a deer hunter. Although I have killed as many deers as some good hunters, I can tell you that. But usually I've killed them with trucks. Myself personally, I have killed in the past 30 years. I probably have killed. I know I've hit 3 or 4 deer myself. Say 1, 2, 3. I know 3. No, I probably hit 5 or 6 deer. I had to really count to see, but I hit one buck that was as big as that one that's on Phil's wall. I mean, it was like a 10 or 12 pointer. I mean, it did some damage to my truck. I can tell you that. Yeah. Well, I just said ass. I hope that's not too bad. Yeah, and Justin's not around to hear that, is he? I usually try to keep it halfway clean. I don't want to get any strikes on here, but you never know. Because I don't think my channel, the way I talk, is going to get anywhere close to what Justin's is. Justin would, if he was on regular TV, it'd be it every other word would be beep beep beep. Oh, you have to follow you on Instagram. You got a couple of pictures on there. I'm not a big Instagram person. I don't know. I don't get Instagram. I mean, I got it, but I just don't view it. It's just not something that I know a lot of people do it. I'm just not. I don't get the. I don't do Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I got Facebook, but and that gets to be a little bit too much sometimes. There's so much rhetoric and everything else on there, but I haven't gotten into Instagram yet. I know I get a lot of alerts and everything from people on Instagram, but it's just nothing that I sign on to view. And I don't know. I hadn't caught up with it yet. Well, hey, Renegade. I can't even speak this morning. Well, there's Phil back in there. Yeah, no, I was asking a while ago, Phil, where did you shoot that deer? Uh, where did you get that deer that you got up mounted on your wall? I assume that's yours. I wouldn't think you go out and buy somebody else's deer. Um, yeah, I was just wondering where you did that. Was that in Michigan where you shot that deer? It was down there behind your farm, your family farm. I mean, that's like us. I mean, we got a family farm. We got about 100 and something acres, and we got one grove of trees that we planted about, gosh, 35, 40 years ago. A lot of pine trees, and it's a grove of about probably 25 acres, and the deer stay in that a lot, and they'll go across our pasture into another uh, grove of woods or whatever that's on the other side of our pasture, and we see them there all of it. I mean, I see at least, and even in across from my front yard, we got my neighbor has probably 40 or 50 acres of woods, and the deer are just all over the place out there, and they're really moving now too. I think I think a lot of these does are in heat and everything else, and when the does are in heat, the bucks will be chasing them. That's for sure, and that tends to seems to have more deer strikes and everything. Well, hello, there's the other Patrick. How are you this morning? Yeah, I'm going to get a couple of swigs of water here. You have your own private project going on there. Yeah, I had to put your link up for your Instagram up there, Patrick, so others can see it. Well, hey, Chris, I was just telling them I had a couple of service calls. I actually went on one service call this week myself yesterday. Jim and I, one of my mechanics, he and I had to do a road call yesterday afternoon. It wasn't too far. It was about a couple hours away up near Asheville at Black Mountain. I had one to pop the hose, but I noticed that pole barn's going up pretty good, Chris. everybody ought to watch that. That if you don't see a pole barn being built, now of course Chris only shows about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of it, and then he's off. But you can see his progress. He's got about 4 or 5 different clips showing what they've gotten done every day. That's going to be a big pole. What size is that, Chris? It looks like it's like 50 by 80 or something like that. Pretty good size. Looks like it's a pretty good size barn. I never did. I don't think I remember you saying what size that was, but it just by appearance, what I'm looking at through the camera lens and everything, it looks like it's pretty good size. Hey, Ag Tech, how are you? How is it up there in Lower Canada? It's 104 by 64. Man, that is a big one. I know my big building is that I've got in my other shop. It's 120 by 60, and it is a huge building. So yeah, 104 by 64. You're gonna have a big place there, and now you're going to have it plumbed for, I guess, bathrooms and everything else in there too. And just now out here, I don't know how it is on electrical inspections, but I know to get the inspection done, you got to have a minimum amount of wiring done. And that's what I did. I did the minimum amount of wiring and then got it passed. And then I went back and finished the rest of it. Oh man, Harvest. That's right. Harvest is just starting good out there, isn't it? I know I watched the Millennium Farmer. That boy stays busy. Yeah, Ag Tech stays busy out there with all the farmers out west. So that's just going to be a shed, and it's not going to be a. So that's just going to mainly just be storage. So you won't have to have all the. So it's just going to be a roof shed, and then later on you can close it in if you want to. That happens, Joey. I know what daddy duties are. Well, of course, my kids are grown. I don't have to. We'll see you later, Joey. Oh, it's wired, but that's all. Oh, okay. So you're going to run the plumbing out there close to it, I suppose. I mean, that's that would probably be the advisable thing to do is even if you run it underground and then cover it up so nobody knows where it is except you. I would almost want to do that just so you'd have it and have it roughed in before you pour the cement. Now, are you going to pour cement or are you just going to keep it a ground floor or dirt floor for the time being? Mm. Are you going to have the cement done by the time the wedding comes, or if you're going to do cement, or are you just going to leave it a dirt floor for the time being? Yeah. Well, the creosote, how fresh were they? Now, did you add creosote, or did you add creosote, or did you you just talking about what's originally into the post? We didn't. We'll get you somebody good that can finish it. That's the main thing. Yeah. Well, that creosote will go away after. I mean, it doesn't take long. I mean, it hadn't, from what my situation's been. It just, I mean, what we did, I guess you did like most pole buildings. Did you put a cement? Did you put a cement slab, or like most people get like a 2 foot square or 1 foot square, whatever it is, cement uh, square to put down in the hole, and then put the pole on top of that. That's why they do it out here. Oh, you got a power. Now that's the way to go. If you got a power trowel, then you're in good shape. And if you get somebody with a, a good finishing machine, I hate that. I keep coughing here, guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, if you got 3,200 psi. Now, are you going to put the fiber in it, or are you putting rebar in the cement? Well, if you can get by with it, boy, they have to. Hey, Daniel, where everything seems to be doing fine out here. Yeah, everybody's enjoying themselves this morning, I think. Okay, 4,000 pit. Okay, it's $3,200 each pour. Oh, okay. Wow. Let's see. Well, how much is it a yard out there? I mean, they sell it by the yard out here. I mean, I'm trying to think. The last one I got last year when I did my driveway, I'm thinking cement. Gosh, it was 120 a yard now, 118, 120. I can't remember. It was high. I know every time I poured cement, it's just up and up. 110 something in a yard. Okay. Yeah, it never goes back down. That's for sure. I remember I poured my son's driveway. I'm going to say that's 20 years ago, and it was $62 a yard then, 58, 62, something like that. And then I remember when I did my first building, I think it had jumped up to about $70 a yard. And now it's about 120 a yard out here, I think. I might have to step over here. Hang loose, keep typing amongst yourself. I got to step and give me another water in here. Woo-hoo. I'm back. I'm back. Whoa, there we are. Get focused in here. If I can get it off. Well, that's one thing that's my grip is not as good as it used to be. Yeah, I have to keep drinking a little bit of water. I've had a little bit of tickle in my throat this morning. Or as the old saying goes, I had a frog in my throat. I was doing okay until it crossed its legs. Yeah, I talking with Chris about the cement and everything a while ago. I enjoy doing cement. I got a video from a year or so ago. Chris keeps asking me when I'm going to put it up. I should be putting it up. I've just not had time to edit it. Yeah, I tell you what, sometimes you'll get these, and I had some Gatorade the other day, and I couldn't get them open. I couldn't open it, and because I don't have the grip that I used to have, and I'm not supposed to be straining myself. My wife tried to get it. My wife got a pair of pliers. I had to get my mechanic to come down, and he even strained me, and he's a big guy. So sometimes they put some of these plastic things on there. I don't know. I think they just seal them up and don't even put the part where you can tear it apart right. Yeah. Well, I've got time now, and I may have to take time to edit now, and I've been trying to. I just because I keep finding things I have to do, but I need to get out and edit. I've got a lot of stuff that I have filmed over the past few years that I need to put up. I actually got an addition on my building out to the side. I need to put that one up because I think that would be a good one. Because I mean, you know yourself, Chris, that one where you took the garage down, I think that's one of your highest viewed uh, videos out there. You get a lot of views. People want to see these things. They want to see how things are assembled and disassembled and stuff like that. That's why J.C. Smith, I think, does so good. JC's always tearing trucks apart and demonstrating stuff. And Phil shows how to get some of the heavy equipment apart. And I think that's what people like to see. I think they like to view and be informed on how to do some different things. I should take advantage of that myself, but it's hard to set up the cameras. And I mean, there's some people that, gosh, they must have 5 or 6 cameras and are always moving the cameras and stuff like that. Some people have really got very professional out there by themselves. I tend not to have that much professionalism. I probably should do a little more of that, but as it stands, the best I do is get in here on a Sunday morning and turn on the computer, turn on the cameras, and make sure the lighting's decent, and let it roll and let my mouth run. This part I can control pretty good, and just see what I can come up with. I'll have to check that one out. Western Tool and Tractor Repair. Yeah, I like seeing the different ones, and people that put out good content. I mean, I watch more YouTube like that than I ever do on regular TV. I've almost quit watching it. Yeah. Phil has a good channel. Phil's coming along with his. He's getting more and more, uh, getting better at showing stuff. Of course, I know you have to people that have businesses, a regular business or a shop or whatever. It's hard to set up all the cameras. Yeah, I think TV sucks right now too, and I'm just not one wanting to. Uh, I don't feel like I want to pay or contribute to Hollywood do-gooders. I'll just leave it at that. And I'm just the Hollywood type people that uh, feel like they're better than everybody. I mean, you can get the people on YouTube that are very genuine, and you can see through the ones that are not genuine, but get through the ones that are really genuine and chat with them. Hey, Mr. Goodwrench. Well, I hope I am. I'm trying to heal up pretty good. Yeah. I like. I hope everybody. There's several live streams out here. I hope I'm included in the ones that people like too. Uh, I try to be as interesting as I possibly can, and chat and have a conversation with the people that uh, that I just hope people want to listen to what we're talking about, and I hope I'm not getting off topic too many times and that sort of stuff. Yeah, I like being able to now see now Patrick he's going to keep listening to me speak uh, from him in Austria, and when we hear him for the first time, he's probably going to have a southern drawl. uh, I've often told y'all guys, a lot of the guys know this. I had a friend from England that one time told me, he said, Mike, he said, I won't insult you if I tell you you sound like a movie star. I said, what movie star? I'm trying to think what movie star. He said, you sound a lot like Foghorn Leghorn, the cartoon. Uh, so I guess my southern drawl sounded North Carolina Texan drawl or whatever, reminded him of that cartoon. Yeah, I'm about the same way, Renegade. It used to be that we'd watch a lot of different TV shows, but I don't watch much regular TV anymore. I just don't like it. I don't like, for one thing, you got a commercial every 30 seconds, and I mean they'll come on, they'll do this, and then they got breaking news or something or whatever, and then the next thing you know, it's 4 minutes of commercial, and then they'll go back and read a story to you. It's just something. Well, I hope the president gets better. He seems to be getting better, and I hope both of us get better. For that matter, we're both in that elderly age. I'll be 70 this coming June, and I think Trump is 74. So yeah, I'm when you look at these statistics and everything, yeah, I do fit in that framework where it says you're at a high risk and stuff like that. So, and I'm watching myself too, because I am at high risk with corona and everything else because of diabetes and my heart condition. And so I'm very cognizant of the fact that I need to watch myself. So, yeah. Well, Mr. Goodwrench, I'm glad you were able to jump in here. And I hope everybody wants to take care of their honeydews. My honey has not made me do as much as she was making me do. Now, my honey is actually doing more for me. My wife has been fantastic. Had I been a single man, I probably would have been a dead man right now. Yeah, I've had an overhaul, that's for sure. Uh, I've had a heart overhaul. Had all my uh, I had 4 arteries cleaned out and changed and bypassed and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, without getting too political, I think we all need to be very cognizant of what's going on in the world, and it's sad to. I would hate the world to change too much. I would hate the U.S. To change too much, and so I'm scared of that. Yeah, that's what a low compression. I actually got speaking of compression, I didn't bring it with me, but I have a compression pillow that I have. So when I sneeze or cough or something like that, that I actually push that pillow against my chest so as not to, hurt my rib cage and everything. Because boy, when you sneeze with this, it's something else. You run into Richmond at 5 a.m. Wow. So you're getting now, is that going to be your truck to have shoestring? That's fantastic. So you finally, well, I registered when as far as registration, I registered when I turned, I think I got it right before I was 21. They, in 1970, well, it'd have to be. Yeah, I was 20 because they dropped the law to 18 right before I turned 21. And that was my first election that I got to vote in was in 72, but I registered in 71 when when it became eligible for me. And it's like everything else. Every time that I came to something, I was waiting to be that age. They always seem to have changed stuff. It used to be, well, like I said, when here I was waiting to become 21 so I could vote. And right before like 6 months before I turned 21, they dropped the age down to 18. And, and then, uh, they used to have it where when you got to be 25, that they would lower your insurance rates too, at least in North Carolina. It would lower your insurance rates considerably. And 6 months before I turned 25, boom, they changed the law on that and made it all across the board the same. And I lost out on that deal too. So it seems like every time I turn to a certain age, but at least when I got to retirement age, they hadn't changed anything. Although I'm actually going to take my retirement on my side when I turn 70 next year. I have yet to taken my full retirement. What I'm doing, I'm working off what they call, I get half value by working off my wife's retirement when she turned 66. So the past couple of years, I get half of what her value is. And then when I turn 70, I get the entire full amount. Hold on a second, guys. I might have to sneeze. Ooh. Oh God. I don't have my compression pillow here, but you see, I have to hold my chest. Oh, golly. That hurts. I mean, that really, really hurts there. Oh. Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've told the story. I always am very proud of my father. My father helped liberate some concentration camps in Germany. Uh, he was in the 82nd Airborne, and Dad took his right to vote and his right for freedom very serious. And seeing how all those Jews in Germany were just slaughtered, and seeing that firsthand, my dad took it very serious, and he always preached that to us. So I know the feeling. So everybody needs to take their their right to vote very serious, and make sure that we keep our freedoms. Vote to keep your freedoms as best you can, and that's about the best way to say it, because there are people trying to take our freedoms away out there right now, and I don't want to see that. I just think it's absurd that so many people are wanting to take our freedoms away. So 5 of you have been okay. So you're going to do the home delivery white glove, are you? Now, are you able to get more money for that shoestring? I would imagine if you got trained special for that, they pay you a little bit extra too, don't they? Okay, you're going to still do your regular, but you're going to fill in as needed. Now, I would imagine it's a better pay. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You've got we've had so many people that have gone before us that have risked their life, and so many lost their life, so we could actually have freedom. Uh, Unfortunately, so many young people, I'm afraid, don't understand the impact of that. They don't understand what their forefathers and people before them have done. But I'm very appreciative of every veteran. Uh, uh, my dad was in the service. My younger brother was in the service. I didn't go. I came up during the Vietnam era and did not have to go. And yeah, that's that's something. Yeah, and Austria, Patrick was Patrick's family are your father, grandfathers, or whatever. They they lived through being overthrown by Germany, and when Hitler came through, Austria was a beautiful country that was taken in by Germany, along with so many others over there that were just overpowered. And it's sad. I know. Uh, I know a lot of people. If you want to get a viewpoint, I guess watch The Sound of Music, and you'll see a little bit of. Of course, I mean that's a play, and that's or that's a reenactment of what happened. But in real life, it did happen over in Austria that way, and they were taken over by Germany and Hitler, and it's a sad state of affairs if that happened. Yeah, and you can imagine all the people that were had worked for everything they had, their entire life's work was wiped out because another government came in and just took it away. I mean, they don't get it and say, well, we're going to let you have this, let you have that. No, they took it away. It was gone. There was no more of whatever they had, and that's a sad thing. Something you work your entire life for, and your family gets wiped out for that. Yep, everybody needs to vote. Everybody. I'm definitely going to get out there and vote. Oh, your dad was in the Vietnam War. I'm of that age. I missed the Vietnam War. I was in college, and I had a high lottery number too, so I was spared. I had some friends. I've lost some friends. I had some very good friends that went to Vietnam. I had some others that went to Germany during that time frame too. Of course, they actually had a lot of work to do in Germany to help protect uh, the government too. I mean, it was, even though they were in Germany, they were doing work for the service. Uh, I guess as a backup to the the people coming back in and out of Vietnam. Your grandpa was born in 28. Well, my dad was born in 24, and yeah. So my dad was born in 24, and he um, he was in he went straight from high school to the battlefield. I mean, he was drafted and went straight in right after high school. I think he graduated in 41, and then they took about everybody. I mean, there were not very many people they weren't taking back then. The they they were losing so many in the battles back then, and you can check it. The Battle of Bulge. I mean, people talk about Vietnam War. The Battle of the Bulge in Germany took more lives, American lives, than the entire Vietnam War did. Now that's how horrendous it was. That's how bad of a war it was. I mean, they were people getting just mowed down. I mean, it wasn't like, and they were saying, I read one part and I watched a documentary about it, that they couldn't get the recruits there fast enough. And they came right out of, a lot of them came right out of boot camp straight into the Battle of the Bulge. It was such a bad situation. Yeah, freedom is not free. There are a lot of lives that were have been taken just to get us. Well, hey Jerry, how are you? Yeah, there was, and speaking of that, my dad got frostbite over there. He got frostbite, I guess, not frostbite. He got frostbite. Uh, I guess unless he's from West Virginia. But that's like the old joke, where was the toothbrush invented? Said it was invented in West Virginia. If it hadn't been invented in West Virginia, it would have been called the teeth brush. Well, hey, Blake, I'm glad to see you jump in here. You didn't get a notification. Well, check that bell. Check that bell. It's supposed to ring or whatever. Are you driving to Kansas City? Are you? Yeah, I'm just trying to yeah, everybody give me some thumbs up and ring that bell. And if you're new and you haven't subscribed, I usually see my regular guys in here. So, but if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. I like to get the subscription up, and I like to see new people in here and different people to chat with. So, you never know who all's jumping in. I wish it would give you a list of everybody that jumps in. Now, of course, when we chat, I can see the ones that are talking with us, but we never get a really true amount of everybody that actually clicks on your channel. But that would be good. Of course, I don't know everybody in the world, so it's good to have a regular community too. I do like our regular community. Blake, have you been busy this week? Since Justin's out of town, you should have been able to sop up all that extra work. I guess Justin's out having a good time on his four-wheeler. Let me just kind of straighten up here a little bit. I can't get on I asked the doctor when I went to him, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. And I asked him if I could ride a bicycle, and he said, no, not yet. So I've got to wait 12 weeks. So you got 150 subs now. Okay. Well, everybody check out Renegade's channel. We all need to help Renegade out there. So check out Renegade's Garage. I've subbed to Renegades. I'm one of his subscribers. And I'm a subscriber to Blake's. And I'm a subscriber to Patrick's. I mean, not Phil's, not Patrick. Patrick hadn't got one out there yet. So I try to reciprocate for all the ones that join our channels. And I think that's a good thing. I've got Everyday Fleet Tech. I don't see him in here today, but I'm subscribed to his channel too. Oh, sorry to hear about the bad news. I hope it's nothing too serious and everything. But I mean, if it's bad news, that's terrible. I had to pray for you on that, Blake. Yeah, I like to see everybody's channels grow. I mean, and that's the beauty of what we do out here on YouTube. I mean, when I started mine, I just kind of threw it out there to see what I could get. Started getting some response, and I've enjoyed it. I try to, at least do my Sunday show. I don't think I've missed a Sunday show in the last 3 or 4 years. But I tried not to. I don't get out there and do many of the others. I don't upload very many videos. I just don't have the time sometimes to make videos. I'm gonna try to start making some more videos, but it's hard. I try to, you know, I've got the equipment to do it. It's just taking the time. I mean, I've got a drone. I've got some good handheld cameras and just a lot of different things, and I need to do that. One thing I am going to do, I'm going to do an update. I got my truck back. I had it on. My partner had the truck that we had ordered a couple of years ago. I had him driving it, and I've got it back for me driving it now. I've got the F-150 3-liter diesel that we've had for 2 years, and I'm going to kind of review that and maybe do a review on it because it is doing really, really good. I've got it back, and I'm using it now, and I really like the truck. It's an XLT 150, and like I said, it's got the 3-liter Power Stroke diesel, and it really does great. We got about 50,000 miles on it, and I'm just going to have to do a review of it. We've had it 2 years, and I think it's a pretty neat truck. And I think, you know, y'all may like to see the review on that. But it's something. Yeah. Now that's one of them we're talking about. Yeah, that Ford diesel, it's doing good. Now that's a 3-liter. Of course, I've got some 6-liters, and I've got yeah, yep. I'll have to show it to you. It's a 3-liter. I had a special order. There's not that many of them. You won't see that many on the lot at all. Yeah, it's a 3-liter. It just came out in 2018. That was the first year of it. I don't know how many more they've made since then. I don't know how popular it has become, or maybe not at all. I don't know. But they didn't put a huge hype about it, but it's a fantastic little truck. Hey, Yoda Doug. That's right. It's 10-4. Today is 10-4 day. That's why I had to put that in there. Yeah, it's CB Radio Day, 10-4. Yeah, when I saw that and I was looking at the date on my phone and everything, I said, well, hey, I need to add that into the description. Yeah, it says, you know, today is 10-4. 10-4, good buddy. You used to hear that a lot. You don't nowadays. Not many truck drivers carry a CB with them. I don't have any in my trucks, and I don't know many guys that do because cell phones are so prevalent. And if you want real good communication, you can use a cell phone. Oh, your dad got a 3-liter diesel. Okay, well that's good. I don't know how. I haven't kept up to see how many they sold. I special ordered mine 2 years ago. Took me 6 months to get it because they got behind on production of them. Yeah, the local work. Yeah, I can see you needing it more. I can see you needing it more in the local, dump truck stuff than you do tractor trailer. Tractor trailer drivers just don't seem to use them much anymore. Now you'll get some that will, and some think you can't crank the truck without it. But it just gotten to be so just noisy out there for that on the tractor trailer roads, and I quit using them. And if I needed help, I had a cell phone, and it was more usable to me. I mean, there's not many strangers that are going to stop and help you right now, and that's the world we live in. I mean, it used to be you'd get another trucker would stop and help you if you had a breakdown or you needed some sort of help. You'd find other truckers that would help you. I doubt another trucker will help you out there right now on the interstate. There's just too many crazy people out there. And that's true too, comfortable, man. I mean, there's I mean, we have a lot of noisy people on the internet. You can imagine how bad it is. You can imagine how it is on the CB. I wouldn't want my wife to listen to a CB channel because of the fact that it's so crappy talking. I mean, it really is a dirty channel, you might say, and I just I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear anybody being that profane 24 hours a day or whatever. So I basically seriously have not used a CB and a tractor trailer truck in years. And like I said, a lot of the drivers just are not using them anymore. Oh, you got all that. You got that big one at your house, and and I could see if you're out in the plain states or the Midwest or whatever, where you can get a little bit better signal, and you got a lot of distance between you, and probably cell services sketchy in certain places too. I could see the use of a CB, but I have never felt like I needed one to communicate as I'm going down the road lately. Yeah, that CB talk can be annoying, really, and that's what you get at. And if you weigh the good noise or the good news that you get in comparison to what you want to hear, I mean, it's noise pollution at that point. Yeah, yeah. If you use your own private channel, then you're in a lot better shape that way too. That's the thing about it. I mean, uh, if you go into a business, I would imagine if some of these paving contractors or whatever, they probably tell you which channel to turn to talk to the dispatchers. And 19 is the north. And when I came up, and this is how old I am, channel 10 was the channel everybody was on. And then for some reason it went from channel 10 to channel 19. And of course, some of them said because channel 9 was the emergency channel, that channel 10 was bleeding over onto 9, and that's why most people went on up to 19. And then you'd get out in California and it was 21 for some reason or other. So I don't know. Yeah, yeah, they used to be a lot of sidebands and linear amplifiers. I mean, I knew guys that would spend $1,000 to get a linear amplifier so they could really blast out there. But the crazy thing about it, because of the limitations of that, it would only go 4 or 5 miles. I actually had to stop one of my drivers. He had put a linear in one of my trucks, and it actually messed up the electronics in my truck. So I told him, I said, you can run a CB, but I don't want that linear in there. But it did. It messed up. It messed up the electronic. I would get an electronic malfunction on the truck because of that CB. It's channel 17 around there, is it? Yeah. Well, it was like I said, it's when I first started years ago, and I used to sell CBs. Of course, back then, the CBs were only 21 channels. They were a higher wattage, but they were only 21 channels. I think they would go to 5 watts. And actually, a lot of people still like to get the old 21 channel radios and then boost them up, put a little bit of amplification in that, and really make a real powerful, just regular radio. But Yeah, when I first started, I used to sell. I had a record store and electronic store when I first was one of my first ventures into business, and that's what we sold. We sold 21 channel, and then when it came out with 40 channels, I go, "Wow, 40 channels." Of course, we weren't using 21s. I always questioned why they need to go to 40. Yeah, yeah, some of the stuff will fry an alternator. Uh, I've seen guys that had these linears, and they'd be in their truck and they'd key up the microphone. That linear was so powerful that it would dim the lights down in the truck, or like the clearance lights. But I did. I had to get my driver. I told him, I said, you know, I'm not paying for that repair on that truck if you tear up my truck with your linear amplifier. And so he got the message real quick. And but he was sort of, I think he snuck it in there every once in a while. But it did it. I had him to. It messed up a couple of. I mean, like I said, it would come on the dash, electronic malfunction, and that was why. Make sure I'm not getting behind up here. I think I'm up to date. Pretty much up to date on everything. Well, guys, I tell you, I've been on here about an hour and 15 minutes right now. You got a brand new one. Yeah, you got a Japanese. I think they're all Japanese nowadays. I don't know of a CB radio that's not Cobra, and all the rest of them are all Japanese made and everything too. Well, guys, I am about ready. I'm about talked out. I'm running a little bit low on breath. So an hour and 15 minutes is about as hour and 17. That's about as far as I can get. So I'm gonna get out of here. Catch y'all guys later. Y'all have a safe week, and I'll talk to you at least next Sunday. And if I get some of these other videos out, I'll try to do that too. So y'all take care. See ya.